Hi everyone, it's Gail here. Welcome to Psychic, Spiritual, Intuitive Life Coaching. Today I have a special guest, my dear friend Bridgitt McNabb. Now Bridgitt is a reflexologist and a medical herbalist.
And a naturopath.
And a naturopath.
And a naturopath, yeah.
So you've got lots of different things and different skills that you bring to help people with their physical, mostly.
So how I work is
Yep.
I'm a holistic naturopath.
Yes.
And I believe that there are 3 or 4 different levels to a person's healing. And when these come into balance, then there's a true healing, a total healing. Most people come to see me first for physical, so I mainly focus on physical balance as well as mental emotional balance, because I feel that you really can't do one without the other. And there is a top level as well, but most people who come to see me aren't quite ready to go to that top level.
That level being?
So I describe that level to my clients like it's your passion for life. It's maybe their religion. It's what their higher belief might be. And I liken that to if I had a job and I really hated my job, and I went to work every day, I would get resentful. And then that might turn into anger or depression. So that's that mental, that's emotional. And then that would filter down into the physical. As stress, maybe my muscles would go up, maybe my adrenal glands would be pumping, maybe my pancreas would be overloaded because it's releasing insulin to deal with the blood sugars. Maybe I eat too much to compensate for that stress, so that has that ripple-on effect.
Right.
So I'm a nutritionist as well, and so I look at what you're eating, the emotionals, as well as trying to balance the physical.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so when someone comes to see you, say for the first time,
Right.
what can they expect?
So I offer a free 15 minutes chat, and we can do that on the telephone, or they can make a quick appointment with me, and that's for the potential client to determine if I am the right person for them.
Right.
And also for me to determine if my client is the right person for me.
In what regard do you mean?
In regards to me sowing a seed, everybody's on a journey, if they are willing to do a little bit of work themselves, because I'm not here to
So if they're
do
ready?
the work. Yeah, if
so
they're ready.
if they're ready for real help?
Well, if they're ready to look at a different way, a natural health way to balance their symptoms,
Right, yes.
you know, if they're willing to look at their nutrition, if they're willing to look at their emotional side of it, rather than giving that responsibility, I suppose, to somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
So is this only for people who have problems initially now, or is this for people who want to benefit from preventing anything that may come up in the future?
So my business is called Maintaining Your Health, Whakatikitiki Oranga. So that's maintaining your health. So you can come to me for chronic issues and acute issues, and also as a maintenance. So initially, after our little 15-minute chat, and a lot of the time, Gail, it kind of goes on and on, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm happy with that. And so they get an idea about how we're going to roll.
Yeah.
So the first appointment is $150
Yeah.
currently.
Yes.
And so that is 90 minutes. And the client's going, oh gosh, that's a long time.
Right.
That's a long time, but really 90 minutes is for us to be kind of like detectives, right?
Gotcha.
And we gather all the information that will help me put a plan together for the client. So 90 minutes gives them a chance to tell me their story, Right. So when they go to the doctor, most doctors, they find, the clients find that their journey is like 10 minutes, quick, in and out.
That's right.
And a lot of my clients need to talk about their journey so far. And that is a part of the healing process I find in the clinic.
You do find a lot about, a pattern that may emerge too, or the journey itself, and you can see perhaps in areas where the problems may have started or may have become worse.
Yes, they do, because if we get talking, especially because with reflexology, for instance, and we get talking and we're working on a point that's a bit tender, then I might say, well, how long have you had that? And they go, oh, I've had it for 6 months. And I go, well, what kind of happened before then, 6 months, or maybe, 2 weeks or 3 weeks? And they go, that emotional side happened, and I go, and then we have an epiphany moment and go, oh, yeah, that's right, that's what happened. So then they start thinking about that process and how they can work on that side themselves. If they find that they need a bit more help, because I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a counsellor, and that's beyond my scope of practice if they need further help. So then I refer them on to somebody, either a life coach, a spiritual life coach like yourself, or some people might need more of a clinical psychologist. So then I've got avenues I can refer on as well. Yeah.
Great. Cool. And there's other things that you do as well, isn't there? You're looking to do some kind of workshop, immune workshop, is it?
Yes. So I've got a workshop happening this week. At the moment it is all about hay fever and sinus, so it's allergies. So the theme of my workshops is what's in your garden, what you can grow in your garden, how to harvest it. When I say grow, it's like herbal medicine.
Right.
Simple herbs that you can grow in your garden, that survive in your garden, that don't need a lot of effort. How to harvest them, how to make a cup of tea, and how to combine different herbs to relieve the symptoms of the pathology, like hay fever, sinus.
Right, that can be really handy at the beginning of the spring season often, isn't it?
Yeah,
too?
That's right. And some people have all seasonal
different
allergies.
kinds of allergies,
Yeah.
to different things, even food.
Yeah, they do. So this first one's mainly geared for hay fever allergy.
Yeah.
And then I've got another one, an immune workshop coming up, and that's on the 1st of April. So that's at my clinic at 16 Latham Street, Napier. And that's from 9:30 till 12. We're going to be talking about what you can plant in your garden to help your immune system. We'll also be talking about elderberries and how to make elderberry syrup.
Oh.
Because there's lots of research lately that shows that elderberry is very good at fighting the flu virus and inhibiting it from coming into growing further into the body, into the cells.
Right, so like it encapsulates it, or?
Kind of. So it destroys it. It destroys the flu virus.
Right.
So there's quite a lot of research around for that. So that's quite apt on the 1st of April. And so it's not April Fool's Day. It's not a joke. It will be happening on the 1st. Yeah. Because I am a herbalist, and I'm very passionate about that. So I think that it's basic. It's good for your budget too.
Yeah, and it's like, teach somebody to do something and then they can do it for themselves.
Absolutely.
Self-reliance, so that, they feel there is something that they can do. If the pennies aren't there, that there is something they can still do.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I tell a lot of people my story when I was a single mum with a little boy. And if I knew what I know now about how I could have planted in my garden and just gone out and made a cup of tea for both of us, then I really think life would have been less stressful for me and my budget would have been a little bit happier,
Yes.
you know, and I wouldn't be so stressed now because I used to go and get antibiotics regularly for my son because, you know, that's what you did.
It is
and
what
I
you
did,
did.
And I didn't know any different
Yes.
until I started doing my naturopathy training.
Great. So this is nice for everyone to know that there is an alternative that is effective and that can actually help when there's a bit of a struggle with the budget side of things. Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Yes.
It's exciting news for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I include that herbal medicine into my naturopath consultation as well. And I give my clients a choice about whether they want to go down the liquid herbal medicine.
Right.
And liquid herbal medicine is, I have a herbal dispensary in my clinic, and herbs are steeped in ethanol. Individual herbs are steeped in ethanol to make a remedy. So I might choose 5 different herbs to make an immune remedy or a hay fever remedy. Or something like that.
Right, and that's where your skill comes in and your knowledge of what you need to do and what you can mix and what you...
That's right.
Yes, yeah, quantities and all that kind of thing.
So that's why we have to have a big chat, because I try and match the herbs to my client.
Right.
And what does that mean? That means that every herb has a kind of like a signature, so to speak. So if you take lavender, so lavender's quite flowy and it's quite serene and calming. So if I have a client like that, then I think, oh, you might be a lavender. And then I say, do you like lavender? And they go, yes, I like lavender. I've got it growing all around my garden. Well, do you know you could just make a cup of tea of that from your garden? Oh, can I? So it's sowing little seeds like that and helping them help themselves.
Yeah, and I remember many years ago, somebody said to me, she was a naturopath herbalist, and she just said, if you have a strange plant that starts growing in your backyard, in your garden or your backyard, it means that your body needs that.
That's right. That's how we were taught. Absolutely. So I'm looking in my garden at the moment, and I've got plantain for Africa. So that's plantain lanceolata. So that's the big, long, narrow leaf. And when we were kids, we used to get the stalks and ping the heads at each other. We used to play with them,
right,
not knowing that it was medicinal. But you can make a cup of tea out of that. It's anti-inflammatory. I have it in my skin product. I make my own natural skin product, so I put it in there as well. So it's really good for skin as well.
Right. So you make some of your own products that you can pass on to clients so that they can purchase from you?
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
I do. And that's another little passion of mine because it's got the herbs in it as well. I harvest the herbs. I go and collect them. And sometimes, if they're not around, I have to source them from the herb people, the herbal tea people, Claridge's or Phytomed. And that's quite an interesting process about putting all the herbs together, because it's not just quick chuck it all together. You've got to steep them for a while. I use rice bran oil because that's vitamin E. It's very good for the skin. It's not an overpowering oil. As far as I know, there's not any allergies to rice bran oil as maybe almond or coconut oil.
Right.
Then I put everything together. I use organic beeswax.
Right.
Yeah. So there's calendula, kawakawa, comfrey, plantain, lavender. I'm missing one. I can't remember. And so all those ingredients, so it does more than just kawakawa by itself, but
right,
kawakawa is one of the main ingredients. So I put something up on Facebook yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. I was cooking lunch, and some of the fluid and the oil splashed out on my wrist, and it was all burnt. The landlord had temporarily turned the water off. I was going, oh my God, what do I do? So I got my DD balm and I slapped it on there. Slapped it on. It was really red. It was all burnt over here. It was really red. And I just kept rubbing it in, let it soak in. And after about 30 minutes, there was no sting and all the red had really greatly reduced. Oh. And then by the end of the night, I just had 4 red dots. And then this morning, there's just a little bit there, no blistering at all. Because it's got St. John's wort in it. That's the other herb.
Oh, right.
Yep, so St. John's wort is really specific for burns and for nerve ending, so it's quite good in that respect.
Well, that was really handy you had that since you had no cold water.
I know. But, the water is back on now.
That's good.
So, yes, so that's for sale. You can get that through me on my Facebook page, Maintaining Your House, on my website, maintainingyourhouse.co.nz, or you can contact me with texting or phoning.
So what are your numbers, just so that people, if they've got a pen right now, can write them down?
So it's 027 284 3781, and I'm a one-man show in my clinic, so if you can't get through to me, leave me a message. It will be important. It's always important when people leave me messages, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can when I have a break in between clients.
So if people are out there and they're just not really 100% sure whether they need, to see you or not, you've got a 15-minute free consultation that
That's
you
right.
can talk through with them, and they can decide from there.
And I always say, go and have a look on my page. Yep. See if you like what I have to say, because my speak, how I'm speaking now, is my speak on my webpage.
Yes.
And I always talk about holistic health a lot, the whole package.
Yep.
See if that's your cup of tea, cup of herbal tea, cup of tea. See if that's your tea, and if it is, I have an online booking system as well.
Right.
And they can choose their date, choose their time, which suits them the best. I do have 5:30 appointments during the week. I'm open all day, but I have late appointments, 5:30.
Right.
And I'm also on Saturday from 9 till 12. I'm available.
Right. So there's a big scope for people that are working too. That's cool.
Yeah.
And if people can't get, don't have a website and don't have those functions available, they can still just bring you on your phone. And would you like to give us that number again, please?
027 284 3781.
Right.
Now, if they text me, because I don't have a landline, I'm more than happy to ring them back. If they say, can you ring me? Absolutely, I can ring you.
Right.
I can ring you on Facebook as well. That's pretty high-techy for Bridgitt, but I can do something like that, and I'm learning how to Skype, so, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So lots more coming.
Lots more coming, absolutely.
Great,
yeah.
Great. Is there anything else that you want to add that we haven't discussed before we finish?
So I have expertise. I attract areas for clients with hormonal balance. So that could be your sex hormones, like your reproductive hormones for men and women. Also, hormones deal with your adrenals, your pancreas, your thyroid. It helps the whole system, really.
Helps how you feel.
It helps how you feel. But I seem to attract people with thyroid, adrenal fatigue. That's from stress, lots of chronic stress.
Right.
Who doesn't have stress?
Absolutely.
Right? So that affects your reproductive hormones, sex hormones for men and women. A big part of my clinic is gut health, so I always believe that if you fix the gut up, the functioning of the gut, then that has a filter-on effect, ripple effect for other areas. People who have a lot of depression come to me, and I see always there's a gut imbalance.
Right. Is that the same for anxiety?
Anxiety as well.
Right.
There's a lot of the serotonin hormone is made in the gut.
Right.
Right. So if the gut isn't happy, how are we going to be happy, joy if the hormone's not getting made?
Right.
So if there's leaky gut as well, most people who have stress, anxiety, depression have leaky gut. Most people I know have leaky gut, so that's why I seem to attract a lot of people like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I do with that. Lymphatic drainage is another really big draw card in my clinic as well. And so that lymphatic drainage is when you have edema or swelling, and a lot of people have that from surgery, breast cancer surgery or any other surgery on the knee, anywhere like that, that kind of can leave swelling, edema as well. And I also use lymphatic drainage for detoxing or cleansing, because a lot of people don't like that detox word, so it's cleansing the body.
Yeah.
So I couple that with nutritional advice because I'm a qualified nutritionist as well. Yeah, so
Great. And of course you do reflexology.
Oh, I love reflexology. That's one of my passions as well.
Yeah.
I've been a reflexologist since 2008.
Great.
And I've been practicing ever since I've been training. Yeah, I just love it. It's come and see me. Come and see me in clinic. 15 minutes. You can see where I am. You can have a chat. Keep an eye out on my Facebook page. There's lots of deals going on. Keep an eye on my web page, because you just never know, you might miss a promotional offer.
And of course the workshop on the 1st of April.
The workshop on the 1st of April.
Yes. And always tomorrow if you want to get in early.
If you want to get in, there's a couple of spots left for the workshop on Wednesday as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, darling.
Oh, kia ora. Kia ora.
Lovely to have you in, Bridgitt.
Thank
you. Yes, anyone wants to get hold of you, again, the number is?
Oh, 027 284 3781. I
Brilliant.
feel like I'm on America's Got Talent.
You did good.